بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. Welcome all. This is your trainer, engineer Akram Sulaiman. I hope you are doing well and safe. Learning Microsoft Excel is a series of practical exercises that will teach you how to use this very powerful application. In each exercise, there are a set of tasks that you are required to do. So, I will show you step by step in a practical way to achieve and perform these tasks. So when you finish all the exercises, you will be familiar with this powerful application and you can use it for your own personal or professional purposes. Microsoft Excel is considered one of the most powerful calculation application as you will learn in this series of practical exercises. You can do many things. Each exercise will be recorded as a video and it will be published to your trainer YouTube channel so that you can refer to it in the future to review if you miss something. Also, in the description box of the video, I will provide you another homework so that you can practice what you have learned in the exercise. So this is the way to learn Excel, by practicing and exercising and doing by yourself. This is considered the introduction video. We will have a general information about Microsoft Excel, the history of Microsoft Excel, the different versions, then to do some practical basic tasks such as running the application, opening the workbooks, exiting the application once you finish. So let us start. By the end of this introduction video, you will be able to do the following: define Microsoft Excel application, list the different versions of this powerful application, then practically how to run this application using different ways. You identify and get familiar with the user interface of the application. Then you will be able to save workbooks, identify different save options, open and close workbooks, and lastly, exiting the application once you finish. Now it's a good point to tell you that Microsoft Excel is part of another big Microsoft Office suite of applications. Maybe you are familiar with the Office applications. This is from Microsoft and it consists of many applications such as the Word, Excel included in this suite of application, PowerPoint, Access, Outlook, OneNote, and many others. Maybe you are familiar with some of these applications. These applications are considered productivity software and they are highly used around the world by companies, organizations, and even individuals to achieve many different things. As you can see, Excel is part of that Office suite of applications. So for you to use the Excel, you have to have in your computer the Office installed. And as we will see now, we have different versions and I will let you know which version I recommend. So this is about Microsoft Office suite of applications. So what is Microsoft Excel? Well, technically, Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet processing software application developed by Microsoft company. Initially, it was released in the year of 1987. As you can see, this software is published in the past, and over the years it has enhanced in a very powerful way. Now maybe the spreadsheet processing software is not giving you any meaning, but it will be clear for you. Simply now know that spreadsheet processing means calculations. You can make a lot of calculations with the numbers. So Excel is a very powerful application in this area. As I said, Excel is considered to be the most famous and feature-rich spreadsheet processing software application. You can do many things such as calculations, graphing tools, data manipulation and analysis. It has many features, very powerful features actually. And it is highly used by employees and students worldwide. Hopefully, you will be one of those who use this software in a professional way. The nice thing about this application, it can run in your computer, whether your computer is a Windows or a Mac, and now even we have versions that it can run on mobile and tablet computers. And as I said, it comes bundled with Microsoft Office suite of applications. Now, what type of workbook or documents you can create using this application? We have different type of application workbooks and documents you can create, such as personal and business budgets, engineering, scientific and statistical calculations, sales and marketing projections, inventory and stock records, and actually many other type of workbooks. So when you master this program, you can do many different type of calculations in different type of workbooks. Now, what are the different versions of this application? Initially, in the past, we have a very famous version. It's called Excel 97, and from the name, the number here, it's reflecting the year it was famous, 97. Then we have Excel 2010, we have Excel 2013, Excel 2016, and the latest version of Excel is Excel 2019. Now, for our exercises, I highly recommend to have at least 2016 or 2019. You can work with 2013, no problem, but it's recommended to have at least 2016 and 2019. They have more features and they are more powerful. Of course, I don't recommend using Excel 2009, 10, and 97. These are considered legacy and very old. And many of the features that we will learn, maybe they are not available in these versions. Okay, now it's the demonstration time. We will go to the desktop of my computer to show you first how to run this application, the different ways, then to have an overview about the interface of this powerful application so that you are familiar and you can start working your exercises without any problem. So see you there in the demonstration. Okay, welcome to the demonstration time. So first we want to learn how to run this application. Actually, there are different ways to run this application, the Excel. First, if you have a shortcut of this application in your taskbar, you simply click that one. Here I have the icon. This is the icon of the Excel program. So simply clicking this icon, it will run the application. Now if you don't have an icon on the taskbar here, sometimes you may have a shortcut on the desktop in your desktop. For example, here I have a shortcut for the Excel program. Here I double click to run the application. So in the taskbar, single click, but if you have the icon on the desktop, you have to double click, not single click, to run the application. Again, sometimes you don't have a shortcut on your desktop. In that case, we have other two options. The third option is to go to the search box in your taskbar. You click that one and you start typing the name of the program. In our case, it is Excel. So once I start writing Excel, as you will see now, even before I complete the word, the Windows starts searching my application and it gives me the list of the result. As you can see here, you have the icon of the Excel. So you can now click, single click, and it will run the application. So this is the third way. Now we have a fourth way, more professional and more formal way, is to use the start menu. You simply click the start button here, where you will have your list of all the application installed in your computer, and then you can scroll down. You see these are sorted alphabetically. So here A, all your applications that start with A, it's listed here. Here is C. So we will go to the E. As you can see in the E, I have my application Excel is listed there. This means it is installed in my computer and I can use it. So I can simply click that way, that icon, and it will start. So you have different ways to run the Excel application. Now if you don't have Excel in your computer, you have to install, as I said, Excel 2016 or Excel 2019. So you need this software to be installed in your computer, and as I said in the previous slides, whether you are using Windows or Mac, you can use this Excel. Of course you can work with your mobile and tablet, but for our practical and exercises and education, it's better to use either a desktop computer or a laptop computer, so that it is easy for you to interact with the application. So now I will start the application using the first way. I have the icon here in the taskbar, so simply I click that one and the application will start, and you end up with this welcoming screen. Here you have many options. You can start creating a new blank workbook or document. Workbook is the name of the file of the Excel. If you are familiar with the Word, in the Word the file is called document. Here in Excel we refer to it as a workbook. So if you want to start a new empty workbook, simply you can click this blank workbook. Microsoft, they provide you some templates which are populated with some data already in the file, so that you can use these templates. If you want, you can click even here more templates, and it will show you many different templates. They are already populated with some information, so you can put your own information and you have an Excel file in a very short time. But most of the time in our exercises we will start with the blank workbook, so you can click that one. So this is how to create a new workbook in Excel. Or from here, if you have already a workbook Excel that you did in the previous and you want to open it, you simply click open here, and you can use the location where is that file or workbook. Most of the time you click browse, and from here on the left hand side in the navigation you search for the folder where your Excel workbook is saved, and simply click that one, for example, and then you choose the file if it is there and you click open. So this is one way. Sometimes it lists you here the recent workbook that you work. For example, here I have a workbook, it's named Windows Registry, so simply I can click that one and it will open it. So now let us assume we want to create a new workbook. So I go back to a new or in the home and simply click the blank workbook. So when you click that one, it will start a new workbook, an empty, there is no data. And of course, as you know, most of the application, they have these buttons. You can either minimize or maximize or even close the application. So I will click the maximize so that it is full screen, so it's easy for you to see the different part of this application. Now you have to get familiar with the user interface. What we mean by user interface is these icons here and how you work and react to the application, to the Excel application. As you can see here at the top, we have this one, many of the commands. We call this is the ribbon. And in the ribbon, we have different tabs. For example, by default, you are in the home tab and it has its own commands and buttons. Now, sometimes you want to work with other commands. They are not available in the home tab, for example, in the insert tab. So simply you click that one. You have now a new set of commands in the insert tab. So this is, we call these tabs. So we have home, we have insert, we have another tab, page layout, formulas, data, review, help, and so on. So when you work with the Excel, you will going from one tab to another tab. It depends on what you want to do. So these are, we call these tabs. And also, but most of the time you will work with the home tab. Most of the commands that normally we use, they are in the home tab, but sometimes we need to go to the insert, and we will see in our exercises we will use many different commands on other tabs also. This is the interface. Now by default, when you create a new blank document, we have these. As you can see, it's different than, for example, the Word. Here what we have what is called the sheet. This whole is, we call it the sheet or worksheet sometimes, and even it's written here, it's now sheet number 1. You can create different sheets, okay, by clicking this icon. But first let us talk about the sheet. What is the sheet? As you can see, each sheet consists of columns. So here I have a column A, here I have column B, and here I have column C, and so on. I have D, E. Each column has a letter to identify it. So if I ask you to go to column, for example, H, you go to this column. Now also we have rows. Rows, they are numbered, not letter. So we have row number 1, this is row number 1, this is row number 2, this is row number 3, and so on. You can go, and we have many millions actually of you can scroll and you can see the numbers here. So we have the columns and we have the rows. Now the intersection between the column and a row, we have this, for example, small rectangle. We call this the cell. So the cell is the intersection between a column and a row. For example, now in this cell, when I click it, it has this green border. So this means that this is the active cell. Mean if I start typing something on my keyboard, it will appear in this cell. So this cell, it is on the column C and it is on the row 2. So this is the what we mean by cell. So we have 3 different components. We have a column, we have a row, okay, and we have the cell. And the cell is an intersection between a column and a row. I hope this is clear. Now, as I said, each column has a name by letter. For example, this is E, this is F, and as we said, each row, it has a number. For example, number 4, number 7, and so on. What about the cell? The cell, again, it has a name, or we call it the address, and it consists of the letter of the column of this cell and the number of the row. So for example, the address of this cell is D4. Why? Because it is on the column D and it is on the row 4. And if you notice here, when you click that one, here it will show you the address of the cell that is active. So as you can see, it's D4. Now, for example, if I click another cell here, you see now it's G7. Another cell here, it's K5, and so on. So these are now most of our data. When you start working with the Excel, you will enter it on the cells. You start entering the numbers, text. Okay, we will see inshallah over the practical exercises. So for example, I want to start, just to give you an example, let me write here this number, for example, and you can click here and you say here name, and here we can say, for example, we want to enter student marks, quiz 1 for example, and quiz 2. As you can see, I can enter different, and here data. I hear student number 1, for example, Ahmed, and he get in a quiz 1 8 out of 10, and in a quiz 2 9 out of 10. So this is the way we start entering the data in our Excel sheet. I hope this is clear for you, and we will come inshallah over the time in our exercises. We will come back and we will talk about more about how to enter data and how to interact. But now let us assume you finished typing your data and you want to save. Very important task, to save your work. So we have a tab here, it's called File. When you click that one, as you can see, you have many different options. Since this is the first time I am saving this workbook, I have to choose Save As. You know, there is a Save and Save As. Save, you will use it once you save it as Save As. So the first time you save a document, you have to choose Save As. Actually, if you click Save, it will send you to Save As. Save later on, when we start changing the document, you don't need to come to the Save As. Simply you click Save and it will save the changes to your workbook. But since this is the first time, I have to click Save As. And as you can see here, it will give you option. We have to specify two things here. Where is the location I want to save, and what is the file name? So normally we click Browse, and from this dialog box, first you have to choose the location where you want to save the file. So in the left hand side here, we have, this is what we call navigation list. From here you can select the folder. For example, here I have download folder, here I have my document folder, here I have my picture folder, and many different folders. Okay, so first you specify the location. In my case, for example, I want to save it in my document, so I click that one. This is the first step. Then you come to this text box and you click here, and now you provide the name of the workbook. So for example, I will type here sample. So this is my name of the file. Now I am ready to click save, and it will save that workbook with this name on this location. I hope this is clear. Now sometimes you can save this workbook in different type of formats. As you can see here, we have Save As type. By default it is called Excel workbook, and the extension is of your file will be XLSX. But sometimes you may want to save the file in different format. So in this case, you come here, click that. As you can see, we have a list of different file formats. For example, we have here PDF format, which is a very famous format. Many companies and employees use this format to share their data files. So let us assume you want to share this with your friend, with your manager, and you want to send this file as a PDF. In this case, you will choose PDF, and you click save. It will save that file, the Excel file workbook, in PDF file. But if you want to save it as an Excel, you just keep the first one, Excel workbook. This is the default, and this is the native format of the Excel file. So now I want to save it. I click simply save. As you can see now, it has a name there at the top, sales .ex sample, sorry, XLS. This is the now mean that my file is saved. If I want to make sure that my file is saved, let me go to my document folder. So let me minimize this one. And let me go to this folder and to the documents. As you can see, this is my file. So it is saved, and this is the name. So let me close that one and go back to the... Now once you finish working and you want to close your workbook, you simply go to the file and simply click close. Now here it closed your workbook file, but still the Excel is running, so it gives you a chance if you want to work with another file, so or to open or to create another new file. In this case, you go to file again, either you go to the new and you choose blank workbook or one of the templates, or if you want to work an existing workbook, you go to the open and you choose, you browse and you choose what is your file. For example, if I want to work again in the same file, I simply click that file and click open. Now if you finish and you want to exit the application, you have two ways. Either you click this close button, or you can go file and you can where is that one? Such or anyway, so you can close this by simply clicking the close button. I hope by this time it's okay. You get an idea about the application Excel. You have at least familiar now with the interface, and we will see over the our exercises. You will learn more and more in this Excel. Hopefully this introduction video was very useful for you, and I will see you next in our exercise number 1 video. Till that time, please stay safe.